This presentation is brought to you by Smoooth Productions.
What's going on, everyone? It is your boy Smoooth. That is Smoooth with 3 O's. Been a long time. First time doing smooth conversations where the conversations are always smooth. Live ever since early in June when I was in Houston, Texas. Holding things down with my brother-in-law. Shouts out to you, James. Love you, bro. I wanted to have a nice little, summer vacation, spending time with my daughter who was coming in town from Dallas, from Tyler, Texas. But used the Fort Worth airlines to go, not airline, but airport to come to St. Louis. And just wanted to have a great time with family, enjoy the summer. But now we are back, we are here. And thank y'all for taking time out of y'all busy schedules to be a part of Smooth Conversations. Once again, where the conversations are always smooth. For those wondering, Smooth, who in the hell are you? Well, I'm glad that y'all asked because I am a Mr. Jack of all trades. I am a professional DJ. Y'all need some custom apparel done. I can make that happen. Some audio visuals, projectors, projector screens, lighting, low fog machines, smoke machines, all that for any type of event, I can make that happen. Photography, videography, drone services, podcaster, talk show host. Y'all trying to get something going on your own? Let's make it happen. And sound engineer. So right now, go ahead and scan that QR code. I'll give you about maybe 5 seconds to go ahead and scan the QR code. 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, and then for those listening on the district, just go to smoothproductions.com, smooth with 3 O's, and make sure that y'all go ahead and contact me, connect with me. You can save me as a contact, all that good stuff. You can either scan the QR code or go to smoothproductions.com. Now, about the station, make sure y'all go ahead and check out beatdistrictradio.com or via the app. Doesn't matter if it's Google, if it's on Apple, or should I say iOS. And definitely to subscribe on YouTube. If you haven't done so, do it right now. Smooth Conversation, Smooth with 3 O's. Y'all put in 2 O's and Smooth, y'all won't find it. I'm telling you, it ain't gonna happen. So 3 O's in Smooth. In regards to the station, shouts out to my district family. We've been in existence. It's been March of last year that we had our pop-off, and it's been truly a blessing ever since. We are the district family. We have live shows, amazing DJs, just like the show you heard right before me. For those listening right now, you had Rhythm and Flow with my guy, JD the DJ. Amazing, amazing DJ. We have a great family of DJs. We also have great podcasts like Smooth Conversations. We also have a comedy podcast. We have a plethora of different and amazing stuff on the district. We have teen radio as well, so the youth and their voices, big ideas, bright futures. We pretty much have something for everyone. So different shows, one family. We are the district. Check out all our shows on the website. Once again, beatdistrictradio.com. And also make sure y'all go ahead and show love to our socials. Facebook, Instagram, the X, YouTube, and show us some love. We are also looking for some sponsors for the district. So scan that QR code or shoot us an email, info@beatdistrictradio.com, so we can make that happen as well. We have different tiers from gold, silver, sponsor. Just imagine you're listening to the district, one of our amazing shows. Say this show is brought to you by boom, your company, whatever it is. So let's make that happen. Let's connect and be a part of the district family. So enough about me for now. Now, the reason why y'all are tuned in, I know y'all want to see me, and y'all miss me live and hear my voice. I appreciate the love. I feel y'all. I don't blame y'all. But tonight, I am blessed to have a woman who she's the jack of all trades too, man. She's a beast out there, but she is a St. Louis-based R&B and soul artist. She is a storyteller, and the proof right here. Y'all see that? She's an author, still shining, still becoming. She is an educator who blends music, faith, healing, and honest reflection. And just talking to her before the show, I'm just getting the sense that she's a down-to-earth person. She probably has gone through adversity like we all have, gone through the ups and downs, but that's what makes us who we are today. That's what this show is all about. We always see what people are doing on stages, on talk shows, podcasts, whatever it is, but we never get behind the layer of the reason why they do that. And this show is the reason why I do it. I call it my ministry. I call it my blessing. I'm not going to say I'm the best. I'm going to say I'm the smoothest at what I do. And tonight is no different. So I need everyone to go ahead right now, hit them likes, hit them shares, tell your people in them that, hey, Smooth Conversations is on, and he's on with my special guest, the dynamic Miss Latoya Sharen. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Man,
That
pleasure.
was beautiful.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to have you on. And
Thanks
when
for
I
having
say
me.
everyone that she was flexible, because I was like, well, the reason why we're here at this setting, because we're here actually at Gamers Island, and it's right here on South Florissant. And there's a little section inside of Gamers Island for the district where we do our shows and everything, do some shows, should I say. And I was like, well, I might have to go, do a different date, because my wife, shouts out to you if you watch it right now, possibly, but her nonprofit, G4L Girls for Life, having a 11th annual back to school event coming up this Sunday. So the area that I use the show, which is called the TSC, the Saunders Experience, is busy right now with book bags and school supplies.
I know it's well used.
So I'm like, well, let me see if I can do a different date, And then you told me that you can't do it next week because you're doing what?
I'll be on vacation.
And where you going?
I'm going to Mexico.
Yes. So
Yes.
she about to make it happen. She about to get it in. And I was like, well, you know what? Let's see if I can do the station. And we're here now.
Thank you for being so accommodating.
Yes, so thank you as well. And something that I learned leading up to this conversation is that we know the same peoples. You know what I'm saying? So shouts out to Joe Capo,
Yeah.
Kalanda K, and
That's
tell
fam.
everyone about how you know them.
Well, I've known KK. See, that tells you a lot.
Yeah.
I've known KK for a really long time. When she first started singing, her and her best friend, Tashana, I knew them from music when they were getting started. We were kind of getting started around the same time. And then I met Capo later when he produced my project, Shine, the last studio album that I did.
Dope. And like I was saying before, they are some great people.
They are.
The first time I met them, it was just like, they're down to earth. You know how you have certain people where you meet them, they just be having that, I'm greater than now.
I don't
and,
like it.
You know, they look down on you, whatever it is,
Yeah.
but no, they've been welcoming.
Oh, that's fair.
We're truly family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we have a lot of great goals and doing amazing things, you know what I'm saying, for not just around the world, but especially in the community.
Right.
I think that's amazing.
Yeah, they're doing great things. Shout out to y'all, the Kents.
Yeah, that's fam. So once again, shouts out to them and to the district family. But also, what got my attention about you
Okay.
was that you had a music video that you recently did a few months ago.
Okay.
And I guess the director was Renaissance.
Yeah.
So I believe the video was 90s type
90s
of love.
R&B love, yeah.
90s R&B love. So talk about this moment right here.
Okay. So first of all, shout out to Boomin, who shot the video. Marina was the director, and she had never done a music video before. She's a photographer, and she had just recently done a documentary film and had it in a couple of festivals and things like that. And so she wanted to try her hand at doing a music video, and we did a fantastic job. A fantastic job. She did a fantastic. I was nervous because I'm cool. I'm better on the other side of the camera than being in front of the camera, but came up with this beautiful storyline. And to be honest, everybody that had a part to do with that video volunteered their time.
Yeah.
It was volunteer, so it was just a bunch of beautiful people doing their thing. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Mercedes, who built the set. Shout out to Marlon Whitfield, who let us use, who donated us the space to shoot.
Yeah.
To Khadijah, who did my makeup. I don't want to start naming names and forget somebody. Pierre with the outfits, and like everybody that donated their time, to Angel, to Zakia, everybody that played a part in putting that whole thing together to tell that story. To Chris Orange, there we go. To Chris, who helped out with everything. He was the leading man in the video and everything. It was really, really a great time, and also kind of overwhelming because I could not believe that people were so willing. All we had was a vision, but people saw the vision and were willing to contribute to it. So shout out to them, and I feel indebted to them always. They got my back forever, and I got theirs.
So how long was the actual music video?
1 day. We shot it in 1 day.
Nice.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that I'm seeing here and people that you've named, I've known them too. I've had them on the show.
Okay.
Khadijah,
Yes.
Marina. I had Marlon on.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for Pierre.
Yeah.
So a lot of people that you are saying I've known for quite a long time as well, and continue to, the more that you're doing things, it's like you do a certain, you around this network of people, but then it starts to expand
Out,
you know what I'm saying, more and more as you're doing what you're doing. So
and
I think
you've interviewed
it's a
some
beautiful thing.
great-hearted people. Those people they're good-hearted people. And that's like, I like to surround myself with good energy, and they have that. So it made the set feel really, really good. And like to this day, like those are people that you can count on. They know they can do the same thing for me, because we know when you're being in this field, or being in music, or being in entertainment, everything isn't always lucrative, and it takes a lot of money sometimes to make these things happen and get to the level that we want. So we kind of barter with one another, like, hey, if you need me to sing at your event, or you need me to host something, whatever, I got you, because I know you're going to do my hair and you can hook me up, or you can do my videos, or I can teach you some Pilates, or whatever. We just kind of exchange those things and ideas with one another and support one another.
And it's amazing you said that about the barter, because that was one of the biggest points that Khadijah had on the show. Because I asked her about, and we talked about this briefly, and shouts out real quick to the producer for this evening, Broadcasting Bree. Much love to her. That's my people's right there. So we going up. She going up with me, and with Smoooth Productions. But we were talking about the power of, because I've been noticing over the last couple of years how women have just all of a sudden just came up, and you're just seeing that power, especially in the collaboration space. So you just brought up the whole bartering. That's what she was saying. Yeah, I can do this for you, you do this for me, whatever. But you're seeing a lot more unity, and especially with Black women.
Yes.
So talk about that from your perspective.
Well, I hear, for one, I'm St. Louis based, but I didn't grow up, I wasn't born and raised in St. Louis. I came from Edwardsville, Illinois.
Okay.
So I'm a little small town girl. So when I got over here on this side of things, you would hear people say a lot of times, St. Louis is like, they got the crabs in a barrel mentality, and everybody trying to eat and feed off each other and using one another. That has just not been my experience at all. I've encountered some really, really dope people, and that have like-mindedness. And I think real recognize real too. And you kind of can tell when people aren't genuine, and I just tend to not deal with people who feel disingenuous to me. But when I get locked in pretty easily. When I feel like somebody, I get loyal, like to the soil. So if you good to me, I'm gonna be good to you. And I've just met some really, really incredible women. So when it comes to like collaborations, like if I can be a part of it and I can offer something of substance to what it is that you're building, you don't have to pay me for my services. I want to do it. I want to give because I want to see you win. And I think when you have that collaborative mindset of wanting to see your brother or your sister win at something, then my gift or my offering to whatever you have, I'm not doing it so that I can get something back. I just want to see you win. And I think the people that kind of get behind me genuinely want to see me win, not because they're looking to ride my coattail somewhere. Like, we're all feeding this ecosystem because we all know how difficult it can be out here.
So once again, Smooth Conversations, along with my special guest, Miss Latoya Sharen.
Yes.
So once again, we're talking about collaboration. We're talking about bartering, and I feel like this is like the era of rising and successful Black women. You feel the same?
I do. I think that success breeds more success, right? The only time, and you can tell a hater from like a mile away. So those are not the people that you're really interested in investing your time and your energy into, 'cause especially if you're at the point in your life where you feel like you don't have anything to prove. And I'm definitely at that point in my life. I don't have anything to prove to anybody else. So when you get around other successful women, you don't feel intimidated.
Right.
You actually feel like that's my sister and I want to see her win. So any way that you can do, because that's what success means to me. It's not about me being at some higher level. I feel successful when the people around me are successful. Like,
Yeah.
What good is it that I have everything that I want
By
and
yourself.
everybody? You're right.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
Exactly.
And you don't know what success looks like, or what it is that I'm trying to necessarily achieve, right? Because like for me as an entertainer, I write songs or I entertain because that's what I'm called to. But I'm called to much more than that. So I don't know where my quote unquote success in terms of like what people think of success as being big or grand. I don't know where that's going to come from necessarily. So it might not be for me writing for myself. It might be a song that I write for somebody else, or it might be more in the field of Pilates or wellness or whatever. So any gift, any ability that I have, I want to just render that and offer that. And if that brings me some level of success, good. At the end of the day, I just want to know that everything that God blessed me with, everything that He gifted me with, that I used it on this earth to be of service to others. That's genuinely my heart's desire.
And speaking of others, we do have some comments here.
Okay.
I'm gonna show them again. So we have Miss Kill says, and is
Hey.
Go Toya.
Hey, Kills.
And then let's see what else we have here. Says, buy the album and the journal,
I know
y'all.
that's right.
There we go, promotion. And let's see here. Then we have, is that Sharice? Is that Louise Mason?
Yeah, Sharice Lewis. I know Reese. Hey, Reese Boo.
There we go. Says 100. And then got,
See Justin.
yeah, shouts out to Justin Hoskin.
Yeah.
Amazing singer.
Oh, listen, so is Reese.
Yes. Okay, so shouts out to these amazing singers tuned in to Smooth Conversations.
Yeah, my sister Kelsey. I sing with her too.
What up, sis? But once again, just thank y'all for y'all patience. We had a little issue with the technology, some internet issues, but we're back up and running. So go ahead and once again share. Let's get even more people tuned in right now to this incredible conversation. Let's see here. There she go.
Hi, boo.
Say, hi, sister. Hi, sister.
Yeah, she gonna be sister.
So, even just from that, she said she is so fine. That's my guy Ronnie.
Oh my goodness.
What's going on with your brother? He was on the show a few months ago.
Yeah, I know Ronnie dearly.
Yeah, that's my dude, man. So that's what's up.
Hi, Ronnie.
But just even from that, let's talk about receiving love. Because as you said before, you've heard about the crabs in the barrel mentality, and yes, it has happened in certain instances. But talk about getting that appreciation from other people who's showing you love for everything that you've done.
It means a lot. I think it means a lot because I know what it's like to be on the other end, and I like to treat people the way I want to be treated, and I don't like being mistreated. I don't like that feeling. So I want to treat people well. I think sometimes when people have been hurt, they either turn into the thing that hurt them and they start hurting people too, or you want to do the exact opposite and never make anybody feel any kind of pain the way that you've experienced before. And I'm the latter. I never want anybody to ever have to feel some of the ways that I've been made to feel about other people. So I hope and pray that people feel a genuineness from me, because that's the only person that I know how to be. And I keep encountering more of what I put out. I feel like if you put out more genuine, loving energy, you attract more of that to yourself. And I've been surrounded by some really lovely and genuine and kind people that genuinely care and love me, and I appreciate them.
Now, we had this conversation before the show started, and I was like, you know what, let's save it. But let's talk about it right now, because even with myself, broadcasting, Bree, and it sound like from yourself, that we put our trust in people who we thought saw the same vision. Or you had the vision, and like in her case, someone used her vision and did their own thing. in my case, I believe I had a brother who was 100 with me, and then he just upped and left, and then I'm trying to show him love and appreciation. I'm trying to be the bigger man, but yeah, he laughed out on me on social media. Like, I never have issues like that with people, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm just a real cool, chill, laid back, smooth with 3 O's type of guy, you know? And so I felt betrayed, like, man, where did this come from all of a sudden? So then it makes it hard to want to trust other people. Like, I don't have no problem doing everything by myself, but I prefer not to do everything by myself. So talk about your experience.
Okay.
Oh Lord, she had a deep breath there.
Because I want to approach this with care.
Yeah.
Because even when people betray you, it still matters how you treat people, even if they treated you poorly.
Yeah.
And in my experience, I kind of, you heard about reasons, seasons, and lifetimes. And after experience a deep level of betrayal on a personal level, when I first got back into music and all of that kind of stuff, it wasn't because of my own thoughts or my own ideas. I was going through a terrible divorce, and my life just felt like it was crumbling underneath my feet. And I was always singing, I was always a songwriter, but my life was defined by motherhood and being a wife. So when those things got taken away from me, I really didn't know who I was. So it took friends, shout out to Tatum, shout out to my best friend Ebony, they reminded me constantly, and my family constantly reminded me of who I was, what all I could do, what all opportunities were available for me. And these people believed in me until I could believe in myself. They literally kind of pushed me and willed me into these places and spaces of where I find myself now. It wasn't because I necessarily wanted to. It was just because they reminded me who I was. And before I could believe it in myself, I just decided to believe them. Like, if y'all think I can do it, at least I'll try.
Right.
And then I got to a point where I was just kind of sick of telling the same story over and over again. I was like, this thing is not going to be the defining factor of my life. I'm not going to go around talking about my divorce for the rest of my life. I don't want to talk about all the worst things that have ever happened to me for the rest of my life. So I kind of made in my mind that I was going to start saying yes to things, and I was going to say yes even if I was afraid. I was going to say yes. And so Tatum was one of the very first people. He wanted me to actually, shout out to Joaquin, he wanted me to go into the studio with Joaquin and help him with Joaquin Music, to help him with some music, because he was getting ready to start working with him. And that's how I met Capo. He was in the studio with him. It wasn't because of me. I just said yes to helping somebody else do something with music. And while we were there, started playing records and playing music. And then Capo started playing beats for me. And he was like, hey, will you write? You got these songs? And I was like, yeah, I write. And I started writing songs for other artists that Capo had at first. And then he posted a beat on social media. And I was like, well, who's that one for? And he was like, it's for you if you want it. And that song turned into Bounce Back. It was the first song that we recorded. I was like, okay, let's do this. And so he and Tatum and I got together and started this thing of writing these songs. That one song, in I say 2 or 3 months, turned into a whole album. We were just on a vibe and kept coming back to back to back. Every song we wrote, the songs we used, we didn't throw anything away. And we recorded all of this music and we did all of this stuff, right? And we just thought, like, this is gonna be it. We about to take over, and then COVID happened.
Wow.
Right when everything we thought, you come out of something really terrible and you think this is gonna be it, like this is gonna make everything that I went through worth it. COVID. So then that didn't work, right? So then you keep grinding, you keep trying, and then just kept being like this rise and fall, and this rise and fall, and you think that this is going to be the thing, and then it's not the thing, and then you think that this is going to be the thing, and then that's not the thing. And along the way, people join your team, people fall off the team, and you can't take it personal. Right? You can't take it personal and just be like, I don't trust people, and I don't trust people, I don't trust this, and I don't trust that. Because that's what betrayal wants you to do. Being abandoned, that's what they want you to do. They want you to not trust other people. I trust people to be people.
Right.
I trust me. So no matter
Let them
people
be
do,
them.
yes, no matter what happens, no matter if people stay, no matter if they go for whatever reason, whether it's valid or invalid, I'm choosing to trust that no matter what, even if it hurts, even if it breaks my heart, even if I'm disappointed, I can still trust me to trust again. The same way that I got to this point and God used that person to help me get to this level. If that person has to leave for whatever reason, God will put somebody else in my life to help me get to my next, and over and over and over again. That's been my story. So I don't get so attached to the whatever car, let's say the vehicle that's taking me to the next level. You don't get too comfortable in a car because you might have to get out and get in another one. Or that car might drop you off one place and you feel abandoned at that time until something else comes along, because there's no way that God's going to promise you something and say he's going to take you somewhere and not get you there.
And it's amazing that you're bringing this up, because we both share a lot of similar views, because I'm a true believer in things happen for a reason or not happen for a reason. Or remember how, like, you were in high school and your goal was to talk to the hottest boy that was in school, the jock, the sexy body and whatever else. And then you learn, it never happened, but then you learn 10 years down the line that he was actually doing drugs and whatever else. I used to, crush on this one, lady back in high school. I'm like, man, if I could just go out with her one time, It never happened. And I saw her years later, and I'm like, man, thank God. So, like, it's the reason why things happen. And at the moment, you're saying to yourself, God, why me?
Right.
Why am I getting turned down? Why am I getting rejected?
Just because I have the knowledge does not mean that it is not painful. Right? Just because in my mind I know what's happening, I know the things to say, don't stop it from breaking your heart. It don't stop it from being painful or aching. You still wonder why, because you be thinking in the mind, you get settled and you just think that these people are going to come with me on this ride and we're going to ride this thing out together, but that's not always the case. And like I said, it doesn't matter what the reason is, whether it's valid or whether it's not, whether it's painful. Maybe people did you shiesty or whatever, and that's painful to experience. But if you are still connected to your promise, or if you still have the vision ahead, like, how can I still attain this vision that I didn't even have for myself? Like, that's the thing that always drives me. Like, I didn't wake up and decide, this isn't like the dream that I had. This is the thing that I said yes to. All I did was say yes. Now, I didn't know all that I was saying yes to when I said yes, but this journey has taken so many twists and turns, but at every turn, I keep growing and developing and becoming, like the book says, still growing, still becoming, and still elevating into this person that I believe that God is just trying to create in me. So I just have to go on the ride, you know what I mean? And sometimes I don't always know exactly where I'm going, All I know is that I'm going to keep on going.
And something that I've been learning, so earlier back in February, I was laid off from my job of 15 years. And I was one of those go-to guys. I knew everything. I used to train the supervisors. Then we had new hires. I would train them. And then all of a sudden, and I had a feeling, like, leading up that I might be getting laid off. But it was something I prayed for, though, as well, because I wanted to be able to leave that 9 to 5 and focus on Smoooth Productions full time, which I am right now.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? So, get your boy.
I know,
but,
that's right.
I want the opportunity to allow my passion, because I always say we always give 100% to a corporation. Don't care nothing about you. You leave one day, what happened? They find someone else the very next day. So why not us give 110% to what we love?
Exactly.
So that's what I'm doing now. But, like, there's been obstacles that has happened since then. I had a car accident. I had this happen. I had that happen. And so I'm like, man, why me? You know what I'm saying? What's going on? The devil must know. I mean, the devil is doing so much right now to try to stop me that I'm thinking in my head, well, obviously that means a blessing is about to just come all of a sudden. But then something came to my mind too. And I was like, you know what? Maybe it's not just the devil that's doing this, but God is putting certain things in my face to see, well, you always tell others, or you always go to church and you hear about trust and having faith.
Yeah.
So let's see how you act. Boom.
Right, when you don't know.
When this happens.
Yeah.
Let's see how you act when this person that you believed in betrayed you. Let's see how this person act when they take your vision and use your vision for their own personal gain. Let's see how you're going to react after that. Let's see where your trust is with me. Let's see where your faith is. Let's see, do you still put me first? And so that's been something that I've been focusing on a whole lot more, and also telling others too.
Don't it
it's
build
like,
your character?
yeah, you know,
Yeah.
and because like, why hold it to just to yourself? He wants us to love everyone.
Yeah.
You know, we can't help everyone. You know what I'm saying? That's just not how life is. But we can definitely strive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like my boy LeBron, shouts out to you, you know what I'm saying? Like he don't know me for real,
Right.
but LeBron James. But one of his things, his mottos is strive for greatness. You know what I'm saying? So I like to use strive for perfection and, you know, striving for better. So I'm a firm believer that there is something, that breakthrough is coming.
Yeah.
But he was going to test you out in different ways to see if you're really ready for that opportunity.
Right.
You know, so
Yeah, I think that's what I like the word you use, strive. How do you strive for something without adversity, right? Like, if everything just kind of came easy, I don't know that one would be appreciated.
how do you learn?
Yeah, I don't think if you got no skin in the game, you really don't appreciate it. I worked way too hard to get to where I am in my life right now to just let it be taken away because somebody made me mad or because somebody disappointed me.
Yeah.
I don't have time
Right.
for that. You know, you grieve it. I'm not saying to not feel or think above your level of thinking or think above what you're capable of thinking above. You know, feel what you feel, but you have to keep moving forward. Like, you got to find a way to dig deep and keep moving forward through adversity.
So Ronnie says she is one of the most caring, authentic, and compassionate people I know. She deserves to be protected, honored, and acknowledged. Talk about that statement right there.
Shout out to Ronnie. First of all, y'all know the man is a poet, right? So he got
Oh,
away
yeah,
with
he bad.
got away with the words and all these things. But thinking about black women and black women striving, and there's, especially being like a single black woman, you be out here and being protected is like the thing that most people want. And I think with sisterhood and community, you talked about, you know, the rising of black women, you get to a place where you become your sister's keeper and being able to look out for one another, because we all need community. Nobody can do this thing by themselves. You just simply can't. And we talk about all those things that you're trying to carry and trying to build. On top of all these things that I'm trying to do, I'm still somebody's mom. I got 2 sons that I'm trying to take care of, my own mental health, that I'm trying to take care of, my household, that I'm trying to take care of, businesses that I'm trying to build, visions that I'm trying to see fulfilled, friendships you're trying to nurture, taking care of your parents, and all these things you're trying to do. And you do all of that kind of stuff, and then you don't have anybody that you can trust or you can rely on to get a refill when you need a refill, when you feel depleted. That can be an exhausting place to be. And you see so many people getting on the brinks of like suicide, or people on the brink of just having a nervous breakdown because they don't have people in their corner. Because people just want to be seen, and they just want to feel safe, and they want to feel valid and feel like their existence is worth something. Because when you give and give and give, when you're in the giving end, you give because you have it inside you to give, but everybody wants to feel reciprocation. You want to know that what you're doing or what you're giving means something to somebody else. So when people give you those accolades and they give you those things back, it makes everything that you're doing feel more worth it.
I love it.
Yeah.
So once again, let's talk about what I have right here. Bam. A guided journal, Still Shining, Still Becoming, written by Latoya Sharen. Talk about this book. And when I kind of glanced through it, and it reminds me of being Mary Jane. Remember how she would write certain motivational messages on her mirror every morning?
I did that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So talk about this book and how much it means to you and your goal for others to be able to experience the reason why they should check out.
Okay.
This.
Yeah. First of all, I just be doing stuff smooth. I just be doing. I really be thinking I could do it all, and I just had this idea. I had an idea, so I recorded a live album. And I was thinking about, what did I want? So my favorite album was The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
You kind of resemble her too.
Shout out to you. I've heard that so many times. Shout out to Lauryn Hill, love her down. But The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill is one of my favorite albums, like no skips. And I studied it, and I listened to it, and I knew the lyrics, and they lived inside of me. And I wished that at that time, if I would have had knew more about journaling when I was a teenager, if I knew more about that, and I had something like this journal then to like process my feelings and my thoughts about what I was getting from the music at that time, I wanted to create that for my music. I know what the songs, what they meant for me when I was writing them, but that doesn't mean that it means the same thing for the listener. So I wanted the listener to be able to process what they're hearing through my songs themselves. So in the book, I tell you where the songs came from me, like the story of where the song came from in me, but then I give you prompts where you can process your own feelings about the song. The song lyrics are in there so you can read it and process it. And then after that, I give you like some words of affirmation. I'm a Pilates instructor too, so movement means a lot to me. So I kind of take you through some breath work and movement to kind of move that stagnant energy out of your body so you can feel well and feel whole. I'll offer some quotes and some prayers for every chapter. Every song is a chapter in the book. Now, again, go back to the I just be doing stuff thing. I ain't never wrote a book before in my life, never aspired to be an author, but I really be feeling like when God give me something to do, I just figure out how to do it. And I just sat at my computer and start typing it. Now, I'm doing this book at the same time I am simultaneously, because like I told you, I'm a Pilates instructor. And anybody that's done Pilates, shout out to anybody that does Pilates. Being an instructor, the training is rigorous. It's not like a little fitness thing that you just spend a weekend at the YMCA and you get certified. Being comprehensively certified, there's so much that goes into it. And I was doing my testing out phase of that while writing this book at the same time, while I have a rambunctious preteen at the house at the same time. I thought I was losing my mind. But I got through the book, and the feedback that I've gotten back from the people that have experienced it has been such a joy. It makes like the things that I had to endure in life to get to this place, to be able to talk from it from a position of power, make way more sense at the time. Like, God allowed me to experience these things so I can help somebody else get through a difficult season in their life. And that makes what I had to go through worth it, so that somebody else does not have to suffer the way that I did.
And we have a question here. Where can people purchase the journal?
On my website, www.latoyasharen.com. Yep.
Sharen.
Sharen.
All right, so now I know for sure. See, she ain't told me before the show.
And I wasn't gonna correct you.
You know,
either.
but hey, please correct me, cause that's how I am. People be saying, so my last name is Saunders, but then I hear Sanders.
Yep.
I'll be quick to say no, Saunders.
Oh, it's all good.
You know, say it right. So hey, I respect it.
I tell everybody, I had a young mama. She was being, she just wanted to be a little extra. It reads like Sharon, but it's Sharen.
Oh, wait a minute, Sharen.
Sharen.
With the little shimmy on the
Yeah.
Sharen. There we go.
That's it.
I got you. Once again, this Smooth Conversations, where the conversations are always smooth. So I want to take it all the way back, because once again, 90s R&B type of love. As y'all, if y'all didn't see the promo from today, I played her song, and it had me think instantly, because I am a huge fan and follower of Country Wayne.
Okay, love him.
I ain't gonna say day one, but when I started learning about him years ago, I started seeing where he came from to what he's doing now. And I love how he's putting up for his people. Like, he's one of the most unselfish cats, and I kind of put myself in that same vein.
Yeah, shout out
where, I have a beautiful family of, I have my sports talk show, The Platform Sports Talk Show. Make sure you check that out on YouTube and social media.
Yeah.
And I have an amazing family. I don't call them friends. They're all family. Like I call Bree. She's officially family now, but he had a storyline with a young lady named Tamara, and like the vibes that she gave him was 90s type of love. And I love to ask this question because I'm real big on nostalgia. And especially how things are nowadays in life. Like, I think about how I used to be outside in the neighborhood from sun up until the lights came on, and your mom or your grandma was saying, you better come on back in the house, whatever.
Right.
And now kids can't really fully enjoy that experience of being out at a park all day, going to someone's house down the street, whatever it is. You just can't. The kids can't be kids anymore.
Yeah.
So thinking of nostalgia, what is something that you miss that you wish was in existence now?
Really, you know what? It's really corny, but it's really cute at the same time. Love notes. Handwritten notes. I think there's something, even when I write songs still, I still put pen to paper. There's something about the connection of your brain and your heart and your body when you're writing something out. There's something that you can read into when you see somebody's handwriting. You know, they had to think about what they were saying before they wrote it down. And then once it was on the paper, it's on the paper. You're going to erase all that you just said, or you're just going to keep on going and keep flowing with the letter or with the note. And then it's the keepsake. So sometimes if you need to be reminded about what somebody said, you can go back and you can read that. Sometimes you used to spray it with perfume or cologne and you can smell it, and that does something for you and does something for your brain, right? But these short text messages, these short exchanges are not as heartfelt.
Emojis.
Yeah, it's not as heartfelt. And I think we miss real connection with people with, instead of these like little spurts of what we think is connection. Even with social media, you get this false sense of being connected to people, but it's not the same as energy exchange, you know, that you get from being in the presence of somebody else. And I think having something tangible to hold on to gives you more of an authentic connection with somebody else. And that anticipation of waiting on them to respond, because you would get a note, you had to wait for them to read it, to process it, and write you something back before you got to know. So you had to sit with that anxiety a little bit of wondering what they thought or what they felt when they read what you had to say, and then receiving back what they have to say back in return. So I wish that love notes was still a thing.
You know what I miss? Because after you brought up the whole perfume thing, I'm not sure if Bree remembers this, but driving down 70 in between West Florissant and Grand and smelling Wonder Bread.
Yeah. I do remember that's a very distinct smell. It is.
Man, it was like, oh, it feels so good to just be alive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But now you drive on 70 right past 270 and First, what's that street? First, whatever it's called, something out there in St. Charles, and like you smell landfill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? You know,
Yeah,
by the
First Capital.
by Earth City, First Capital. It's like you just smell landfill. It's like, man, what happened to those days where you just felt good to just be, alive
or just slowed
and
down
be in
enough
that area.
Slowed down enough to even pay attention to the smells.
Right.
We're so busy headed to this destination and the next destination that you don't even look out the window when you're driving anymore. You just kind of focus, or your eyes are on the GPS, or you got social media playing in the background while you're going, or you got this conversation and that conversation going. So some of that connection, like I said, it feels false. It feels like you're connected, but you're really not, and we just kind of busy ourselves with stuff. And in that, you miss the opportunity to just sit with yourself, or just to think, or to just be engaged in meaningful ways with life.
So you said 2 words there. And people, if you see a fly,
that's our third guess,
swatting, over here trying to fly around, you see me swatting, I apologize, but the fly want to have some love too. They see the bright lights, and they just want to be on smooth conversation. So hey, you see something and you see me swat, you see her.
That's it.
You know what it is.
It's our third guess. Need a mic.
Exactly. But anyway, just talking about what was I talking about? Oh, in regards to the nostalgia, but also, man, that fly just kind of distracted me a little bit. What I was gonna say, the not nighttime love, but golly, it'll come right back to me in a second.
That's all right.
But let me go ahead and switch gears real quick, and then I'll go back to it, because I was about to get real deep into it. What was it? It's really getting me now.
We talked about the landfill, and I was talking about being slowing down enough to just be connected. Yeah,
that's what it was. Thank you. Social media.
Yeah.
How impactful has it hurt our community, do you feel? Because like you said before, not getting those love notes. Now you're getting emojis. Like, it's someone that I know who said on social media that she wouldn't want to get a good morning text every day. You know what I'm saying? It just feel like social media and technology, as great as it is in certain areas, but it can also take away the true intentions of someone going out their way to make sure that that person that they really like feels cared for and wanted. So your thoughts on that?
There's pros and cons to it. Like, I appreciate it. Like, I think when we started, there's like this unraveling of it or the way it unfolds. It starts off as this nice thing. Like, I remember Black Planet.
Oh yeah.
Black Planet was cool. You really just interacted with your people, your stuff. Then there was MySpace. You had your top 8. You know, you had your people, your stuff. When Facebook first started, you really engaged with your friends or connected with people from high school, and it felt really good, and it was just pictures and this and this and that. But the thing that it has evolved into today is totally different. It's capitalism, and they want to keep you on these apps, and they want to sell you things, and they want to pump this agenda, or they want to pump that agenda, and then you get addicted to the likes, or you get addicted to the attention, and those things make it disingenuous. And I think that it has had negative effects on families, negative effects on the youth, because of them comparing themselves to other people through what they see visually, and not getting the full scope or the full picture, forgetting that we're only getting highlights of people's lives, and people are not going to highlight the bad. They're only going to highlight what they believe is good, you know, about, but that's not true. Because some people do, they always want to get on there and talk about their problems and everything, woe is me stories. So you just kind of get people all over the place, and whatever is wrong or whatever is right just gets amplified and magnified. And I feel like it's good every once in a while. I think this about anything. Make sure that you have control of it and it doesn't have control of you. You should be able to hop off every once in a while and not be bothered, or be able to put your phone on the other side of the room and not need to touch it every 5 seconds, or to check to see if you got any notifications or anything like that. That's an addiction.
And especially like with us, we are a brand.
Yeah.
So how important is it for you before you hit send that you're just not putting out some just crazy stuff, because that can kind of fall back. Let's say you get once you get even mega successful in your career, they can look back 10 years from now.
See, when you was posting some crazy stuff?
I remember when you used to say this about this and that, you know. So like you have to be mindful. People don't think about that because they do things in the impulse.
Yeah.
Now I think that's been like our issue as a culture, is that whether it's social media or just driving down the street, you know what I'm saying, and you know, you just get so caught up in stuff, and you do things on the impulse. Yeah. And we don't think about what can happen, the effects that it can have, not just to you, but for people who you know, people who you love. Before you hit send, they don't think about all that. Yeah.
I see it all the time. You see it all the time, and you be tempted too, tempted to say this and tempted to say that. And the thing about it is, back in the day, before we had all that kind of stuff, you might have said it to one person as opposed to saying it to the whole wide world. I think that people, like I said, people just kind of want to be felt, they want to be seen, and people's pain wants validation. And it's a shame that the quickest place to go get your feelings validated is to make a post. You know, even if you just get on there, you know, I hate when people say, hey, just pray for me, don't ask no questions.
Right.
You know that's going to spark interest. Now, you know we want to know what we're praying
Asking for attention.
Yes, so those things happen in life, but you know at the heart of it that somebody just wants they just want to be seen.
You know what I always find funny? I ain't gonna say hate, but I find funny is when you post something and like they give their opinion and say, well, you know, because I said it, because I posted, it is what it is. I don't need no response back. Really? Yeah. It's like an open book diary. And like, I'm involved in some people like, this is not my business. And the other thing that we have to remember is that we can disengage. You don't have to participate. You know, sometimes I find myself going down rabbit holes and I'm like, why do I care about these people's business? That's not my life. And as soon as you swipe off of it, your energy will change. You know what I mean? So you just gotta have to be careful with that space and the energy that you give it. As an entertainer, like you said, with a brand, like there's the pros and the cons, because had it not been for social media, how do you push your music when the music industry is collapsing? How do you let people know what you got going on without these broad spaces where you can reach people in different places and different spaces? There's our guest. You almost had it.
Without reaching those, so those in those ways, it is a good thing. Sometimes I know what's happening in the city because I go on socials and I say like, what's happening tonight, what's going on tonight, so I know where to go and where to be. So I mean, it has its pros, but there's the negative side to it too. So you just kind of roll with the punches.
So another 2-word I want to say.
Okay.
Something that recently happened, especially with you being in the field that you in. You know, as an entertainer in the music business. Pretty privilege.
Okay.
So we all know what happened with the Usher concert.
Okay.
The young lady knew she didn't want to be on stage with Usher, but because of pretty privilege, she still was on there and gave Usher the "Wow, you're my face" kind of thing, knowing that she actually really wanted Chris Brown. Now we all saying, if you knew that you didn't want to be, have Usher to serenade you or whatever, then why you even chose it? But pretty privilege. You being in the field that you in, I'm sure the stereotypes that they say, oh, well, you doing this because you look good. You doing this because of pretty privilege. What is your take in regards to the stereotype that women have to endure to try to climb up the ladder and not have to use their bodies to do so, or their looks to do so?
Okay, that's a layered question for me because I was married for a long period of time. So I got used to almost being, I would say, invisible, right? So when I divorced and I was trying to quote unquote be outside, if you go back through my posts and my pictures, you'll see I done been through all kind of hairstyles. I've been blonde, red, short, long, shaved it off, cut it off, all of these different things. And in ways, I was just trying to, see, look at me. I was married then, though.
Look at that style right there.
Yeah, I done had so many different, styles. But shout out to good genes and being able to grow my hair, right? It had been through a lot of different changes, but building that confidence. I've never felt like I was an unattractive person, but I've not always felt like I was the person that was going to be chosen. I've never been like a really curvy woman or anything like that, right? So you get in the room and spaces with other people that are, you would consider, quote unquote, prettier than you, all right? Or I'm the brown skinned girl too, so the light skinned girls are gonna get more attention than you're gonna get and all of that kind of stuff or whatever. But I really have met some people that have aesthetically beautiful faces but really ugly hearts and ugly spirits, right? So I really think about a pretty privilege. Sometimes people don't know what they're getting into until they get into it. So I don't know how much of a privilege it is to be pretty or for somebody to be. I think sometimes you get unwanted or undesired attention because you're not asking, for it. But I also think it's in how you handle and how you carry yourself with it. Some people are just going to look at you aesthetically, or if you are a curvaceous woman or stuff like that, and people just looking at your tail and looking at your front end, and that's really all you got. I think that people deliver what they think is their best asset first, anyway. So if you delivering your body and then get upset because that's what people are paying attention to, that's what you're drawing attention to. If I want people to be drawn to my heart or my spirit, I want to lead with that. I can be pretty and attractive and all those things, but I want to lead with what's inside of me, not what I didn't have nothing to do with anyways. When people say, oh, Toya, you're so pretty, or I bet, thank you, that's kind of you, but honestly, I ain't had nothing to do with this face. I didn't get to pick it. To my knowledge, if I did get to pick it, I don't remember what God had going on when he chose this face. Just shout out to my mom and my dad. This is the package that I was given.
All right, and welcome to
we back again.
Part 3. So I found out what's going on, everyone. I apologize. Looks like there is an issue with something in regards to the building itself, not the internet. So we're going to work on getting that back together down the line. But once again, this is part 3 of Smooth Conversations, where the conversations are always smooth. So you can go ahead and share again and again. And I'll make sure that after the show, when we had the show archived, that we knock out all the blackouts and get everything tight the way it deserves to be.
It's all good.
But yeah, so once again, Miss Latoya Sharen.
Period. There's it.
I got it down. So I know we were talking about in regards to, I just want to ask you. You talked about your parents. Talk about your childhood, because you say you was born in Edwardsville, is that correct? So
Yeah.
Talk about your childhood. What were some of the biggest takeaways that you can recall from your childhood?
I was surrounded by love. My parents were teenagers. When I say teenager, I mean like early teenagers. My mom and my dad were 15 and 16. My mom was 16, my dad was 14 when I was born. And so they, of course, they didn't know what they was doing. But I was surrounded by love with my aunt and my grandmother. And shout out to my grandmother. Today would have been her 94th birthday. She passed October of last year. So dedication to you, Granny. We miss her so much. But she was a big part of, pivotal part of my upbringing. I was raised in church. So I was surrounded by family and a lot of love in my life and support in my life. My mom was doing the best that she could. I have siblings, and my dad, I don't have a lot of memory of my dad. My dad ended up moving away to Miami, and when I was 7, he got murdered. So I don't have a lot of tangible memories of him in my mind, but he was a rapper when he was in Miami, so I have like the record he produced, or he rapped on, he was a rapper, that he was on. And so music is in my family. My mom sings, my sister sings. I have a brother who's a tattoo artist, he also raps. My sons do music.
Wow.
I have a son that's a drummer. I have a son that raps and makes beats, and my youngest son sings. So yeah, it's in the lineage.
I about to say, so
Yeah.
it was all part of the bloodline just to
Yeah.
get into the music. That was gonna be my next question, but you just
Yeah.
answered it right there. Was there like a certain moment in your life when you knew, okay, now it's my time to get to singing?
It was always there. Like when they made me sing in church. I was made to sing.
Who ain't? For real.
I was made to sing in church, and then when I got in high school or junior high, I was in bands. I played the clarinet. I was in choir all through high school, and then I was in girl groups growing up. Shout out to the girl group I was in that we used to sing in the city, and it was just always there. And then I wrote a song is what happened. The first song that I wrote was called My Fantasy. And I wrote that at SIUE campus. I was 2001 on campus, and I was in the lunchroom, and this song came to my mind, and I started writing out the words of the song. And my cousin Jerry Jackson, the guitar player, he and then my ex-husband, but we created this track, and that was the first song that I ever wrote and recorded. And it was like after I made that song and let other people hear it, and hearing their response to the song that I wrote let me know that I was kind of on to something. So there's this thing about sound, but there's always this thing about words that make a lot of sense to me. So that's why I say, like, more than just being a singer or a songwriter, I like to tell stories, and I just use music as the medium to tell the stories.
And I know you said Lauryn Hill. Were there any other artists that you were inspired by when you were forming your way of who you want to be as a performer?
Yes, so lyrically, love Lauryn Hill, love Missy Elliott. But my family can sing, right? So some of my favorite singers are like my Aunt Gigi and Bishop Townsend. They had like this grit and this growl and this soulfulness and this, in church we call it anointing, but their voices just had this way of capturing your heart and capturing your attention. And that's what I've always aspired to do when I sing. I want it to be felt. So when it comes to like the way your voice, how you use your instrument, I was inspired mostly by them. I love the tone of like Gladys Knight. I loved the tone of her voice. I love the tone of Layla Hathaway's voice. I love the tone of Jasmine Sullivan's voice.
The raspy.
Yeah, the thing, it's just got a grit to it. And I love what PJ Morton is doing right now in terms of like, because I'm a church girl at heart, but like, I don't correct people when people call me a gospel singer, because you're not wrong. I do sing about, my faith, and I sing about the love of God, but that's not all I do or all I'll ever want to talk about. I like to just tell stories. So I love the way that he approaches music, and I see myself kind of in that similar vein.
And
musically.
What are your thoughts right now in regards to just the state of music? We know we've been hearing a lot of people saying R&B is dead. But
They're lying.
yeah, so I mean, there has been like a lull period, but I mean, I'm hearing like of course you still got Usher around, but what's the name? October London. You know, I know you said PJ Morton.
Yeah.
You know, you're starting to see certain, you know, singers come out, and you like I love Ella Mai.
Yeah.
And
Ella Mai, Alex Isley.
Yeah.
You got Cleo Soul. It's just the thing of like you gotta know where to find it.
Yeah.
Like Masego, and it's what your ear is drawn to, sir. Rap wise, you like D Smoke and different people like that. It's just that there's such an abundance of music available now. Before you knew because of radio, you know, what was the mainstream. There's really not a such thing as mainstream hardly anymore. Anybody that's mainstream now was mainstream before the music landscape changed so drastically. Now, you almost get people that are kind of like, you become like grassroots fans of people. Like I'm a diehard PJ Morton fan. So if you don't know PJ, then you might be like, who's that, or what's the song, name one of his songs, because you didn't hear it on the radio. But if you go to a PJ Morton show, everybody in the audience is singing every word, every song word for word.
And I had, you may know her, Drea Vocals. So I had her on months ago, and I said this before, and all respect to Trey Songz, but I felt like he was one of those ones that started that movement, you know, the whole Mrs. To Your Girl.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you're using these songs to try to get someone else's woman, which I'm not a fan of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm gonna take your wife, or I'm gonna take your girl, you know, whatever it is. And it's like, that's not what true R&B music is or should be. You know, it should be the whole begging, you know, to take me back, or I love you and I want to show you, I want to give you, you know, the Ray J music video, crying in the rain, One Wish, you know, stuff like that is, I feel like, what has been missing. Do you feel that type of music is still in existence, or is making a bigger comeback than the Steal Your Girl type music?
Okay, that's loaded. It exists, yes.
Yeah.
But I also think that sometimes there's an agenda. You know, the dismantling of the black family, the dismantling of black love. What do they promote?
Right.
When I say they, you know what I mean? What do they promote? The destruction of us, right? The other music exists. It is fully out there. All the begging and the pleading and the admission of love for the person that you're with. Those songs exist in abundance, but they're not what you see on the front lines. It's not what you see. The same thing about wholesome music, you know, like you go to like the award shows and everybody is trying to see as few clothes as they can put on, you know, the women. And you kind of see like that's what's promoted. That doesn't mean that that's all that exists. And that's, you know, shout out to those women. We have freedom, right? You can do whatever you want to do, but just because you have the ability to do something doesn't always make it a good idea.
You know, that makes me think about Janelle Monáe. When she first came out. You know, she had that whole MJ, Prince, James Brown type vibe. And I'm like, okay, you know. But then it's like she had a switch.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was just like someone's pushing her, get naked now. You know, like what happened to the Janelle Monáe that I, you know, started to see from the get-go, and now I'm not sure what she's doing now.
Yeah, and no judgment, because we don't know, right? You don't know. And that's why I say that people have the freedom to express themselves however they want to be expressed, but it seems that the agenda gets promoted when people want to express themselves by being naked. Now, if I wanted to express myself in the way that will promote family and promote love and healing in our community, I don't know that I would get the same push, right? Because that's not sensational, and that's not going to aid in the destruction of the black family, right? So those things are not being promoted, but that does not mean that they don't exist. I feel like when you look for healthy ways of being, or you are kind of gatekeep your ears about what you want to ingest and take into your ear gates and your eye gates, then you're just more careful about what you listen to.
Love. You mentioned a couple of times being divorced. Do you want to be married again?
Oh my gosh, Smooth. I always used to say yeah. And I'm not saying that I'm saying no now. I just know now. It's funny because my mom gonna get a kick out of this because we just had this conversation. There is a thing now called LAT, relationships. Have you ever heard about that? It's called living apart together.
Whoa.
Right? Being divorced, I only had one significant relationship since my divorce, and it didn't work out. and I have a younger son, right? He's like getting into his preteen years, but the idea of like being married and surrendering the life that I've curated under somebody else is terrifying to me, because if it does not work out, the idea of getting it out the mud all over again sounds terrifying when you're this close to 50. I don't want to do that anymore. But the idea of, if you, at this age, I'm 46. So when you get to the point where it's like, if I meet someone and they've established a life for themselves and they've curated a life that works for them, the same way that I've curated a life that works for me, keep doing what you're doing. Let me keep doing what I'm doing, but then let's also build this thing together where we can be with one another and create the life that we want for ourselves that does not necessarily uproot the thing that we've worked so hard to build for ourselves, right? So there's like this level of autonomy that you need, because being an entertainer and the kind of lifestyle that I lead, if a person is insecure, they wouldn't.
What's in a chance?
Right, it wouldn't work out with me. Or if they wanted to come along and try to lord over what it is that they think that I'm trying to do, it would never work.
I feel like you need to be doing this instead.
Yeah, that would never work. It would be over with before we even got started, right? But if you let me and trust me to do what I do, because I'm loyal to the soil, so it's not a matter of like, I'm going to be doing my thing over here and they're going to be doing their thing over there. Because the biggest pushback that when people talk about the living apart together thing, that they think, well, what if they start cheating? I was married. They'll cheat in the house with you. Like it doesn't matter where you live in. It's about the heart of the person. If a person genuinely wants to be a spouse, genuinely wants to be a wife, or genuinely wants to be a husband, then you know that you want to be committed to one person. So you can be committed and have a monogamous, happy relationship just living in two different addresses.
Do you feel because of the lifestyle that you were living, that played a major factor in the divorce?
No. It didn't have nothing to do with the lifestyle. It was a long time ago, and I'm careful about how I talk about my divorce because those are my children's father.
Yeah.
I will say this, that everything that he did to me, he did take accountability for.
Good.
Right? So shout out to him for taking accountability. That didn't mean that it didn't hurt. That does not mean that I've had to go through a lot of counseling and that I don't still have scars, or I don't still have things that I deal with internally because of being betrayed at that level. But at the same time, there's no way that I'd be this version of me without that horrible thing happening to me at the same time. I got our beautiful sons out of the relationship. He and I still co-parent very well together with our kids. So at the end of the day, it's been almost 10 years now. So the me that I got out of that, I'm grateful for, right? I'm not grateful for what I've had to endure to do it, you know what I'm saying? But I'm grateful for the person that arose from the ashes of what I had to endure in that terrible situation.
And I also see or did some research that you are an educator.
An educator, a Pilates movement educator.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. And so what's the big difference with yoga and Pilates?
A big difference. Okay. I would say like Pilates and yoga are cousins. And I say that because they're both connected to breath. They're both connected to breath work. But yoga is more about poses and stretching, and you connect it to your body in that way. Pilates is more like, the way that I like to describe it, first of all, Pilates was developed by a man named Joseph Pilates. So the name Pilates is just that man's last name. He called it contrology. And Pilates is, if physical therapy was a workout program, it would be Pilates. It's working on your functional strength, mobility, flexibility, but it's more so working on the postural muscles in your body. So I see a lot of people that deal with like chronic mobility issues or low back pain or stiff neck or anything like that, or people that just want to feel good in their bodies.
Love it, love it. So how can people find out about Pilates and maybe want to get a class with you and everything?
Yeah, go to my website. It's all there.
It is.
www.latoyasharen.com.
One more time.
Latoya Sharen.
You got a whole movement going on.
Yeah.
Love it. So I want to go back to, so did you go to high school in Eversville as well? Okay,
Yep.
so what high
Born and
school?
raised.
And then if I was to reach out to someone who went to school with you and I say, man, what would y'all say, how would y'all describe how Latoya was back in high school? What would you think they would say?
They gonna be saying that that's the girl that can sing. That's what they gonna say. That was the girl that could sing. I didn't really have like enemies or anything like that in high school. I graduated in the top 25% of my class. I sang, I would sing at all the functions, talent shows, and stuff like that. I like people, you know what I'm saying? So I was likable. I ain't really getting no trouble. I ain't never been in a fight in my life. So, I don't really have a lot of enemies and stuff like that. I hope y'all talk good about me. Y'all talk good about me, right?
Did you go to college?
I went to SIUE for a while.
Okay.
I didn't end up graduating from SIUE, but I did go to Full Sail University where I have a bachelor's degree in music business. And then I also, because of that trying time that I went through in my life, just trying to make sense out of my life, I have a master's degree in theology because I needed faith to be real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dope. So with you being a performer, a singer, an artist, some people have been saying, going back to St. Louis, that you can only do so much. But sometimes you got to go ahead and leave the nest, move away, and maybe better opportunities may come your way in regards to that. Has that been a thought in your mind about wanting to leave St. Louis to explore other opportunities?
Yeah, I've had the idea of wanting to leave St. Louis, but I don't know if it's necessarily to explore opportunities as much as it is to have a fuller life.
Yeah.
To experience more than what I've experienced in St. Louis. I think that you can find success wherever you are because you can be of service wherever you are. And I hope to be of service no matter where I'm at. I think it depends on how people define success. What do you think of when you think of somebody being successful? I would define myself as somebody that is successful. And I don't define success by how many albums I've sold or how many books I've sold. I mean, I want y'all to buy the things. We want to be supported, but the things that keep me going are what I hear when people have been touched by something that I've created. When I hear, I have a song called Stars, and ironic, my best friend, she's a counselor, and she said she asked in her group, she asked everybody to bring their song, what song helps you get through things, and they shared their songs in group, and she played my song Stars, and when she played the song, she talked about how, she was texting me and telling me, she's like, girl, these people in here were moved to tears by that song, and those to me, that's success. So if I never win a Grammy, if I never make it to, the Soul Train Awards or the BET Awards or anything like that, if my assignment is only to these people, say in St. Louis, as long as I'm impactful, I feel like I'm successful already.
Yeah.
So those testimonies are my BET Award. They are my Grammy. This last album that I did, the live album, Still Shining, Still Becoming, that the book accompanies, we were voted the best live album in St. Louis by St. Louis Magazine. To me, that means a lot. I didn't put the album up for nomination. I don't know who nominated. I didn't know who was having these conversations for that album to end up in those spaces, to be nominated the best album in the whole city. I know I'm not the only one doing what I'm doing, so that's an honor and a privilege to be thought of in that way. So to me, that is success, and I don't feel like I'm chasing any grand thing personally.
Cherie says, well said.
Aw.
We also have a comment from Ebony. She says, hey, bestest.
Hey, that's exactly who I was talking about.
There it
She's
is.
the one that's leading group. Shout out to, hey, best friend. Yes.
How important is it, especially for our youth? Because they have been, I believe, in this era of everything has to come fast. Success has to come right away. The whole microwave society.
Yes.
How important is it for our youth to be able to, as they say, go through the mud, but be able to know that you just can't get everything just like that? And how important it is to get the success and the rewards from knowing that it took hard work and not just boom, for things to happen? How important is that, do you think, in your
Paramount.
perspective?
Paramount. You got to put in your 10,000 hours, you know? And just because it seems like some people have gotten it, and one thing, like, don't be envious of what other people got or what you think, because everything that glitters ain't gold. And just because somebody appears to be successful, you don't know what it's costing them internally to be where they are. So I wouldn't envy anybody. You better get clear about why you're doing what you're doing so that you don't get burnt out, because I see a lot of people hit burnout with what they're doing because they're working and grinding because success in their mind looks a certain way. And when it doesn't come the way that they think that it's supposed to come, you feel defeated. Because why haven't I, quote unquote, made it yet? Why haven't I made it to this status yet? Why haven't I made it to these big stages yet? Why have I been overlooked? Why isn't anybody noticing me? Because it's not your turn yet. But just keep doing what you're doing and know your why. Keep remembering why you're doing what you're doing. And if you don't go back and keep checking in with your why you're doing what you're doing, you'll get lost along the way, or you start chasing what you think success is supposed to look like. And be clear about what success looks like for you. Do you want to be impactful, or you just want to be seen? Because maybe it's a validation issue. And maybe what you're really dealing with is wanting to be seen internally. Maybe somewhere there's a scar that you're trying to heal with success looking like a certain kind of way.
Right.
Yeah, and you might be successful because you might be inspiring somebody else right now.
And just don't know it.
And don't know it,
Yeah.
right? So just keep grinding, keep doing what you're doing.
So talk about performing on stage, and I love to ask this question to artists as well, whether it's spoken word or singers, etc. But talk about that feeling of being on stage, having that mic in your hand, and not saying it's like a Pied Piper, but it's pretty much you have pretty much control of that area, of that room, of that crowd looking at you and you singing. Talking about how powerful it feels to be on the microphone and doing what you do.
It's a little frightening sometimes. Stage fright is a real thing. I always get nervous before I get on stage because...
And I always hear if you don't, that means that you don't really have a true passion for it.
Oh yeah, or maybe a little too cocky.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think a little healthy nerves is kind of a good thing. Not debilitating like stage fright, but like, yeah, there's just this little bit. But then you get grounded. You kind of just lock into what your ability is, what your talent is, and then you start seeing the energy of the audience, and then you kind of just settle in to the performance, and then the performance kind of turns into an experience. And every show is always going to be different because you kind of feed off of the energy of what the audience is giving you, right? You're there to entertain them, but the kind of music that I do, I want people to leave feeling inspired, right? So we pull on heartstrings, not for the intention of trying to make people cry, but like what I feel like what I do is meaningful. And sometimes it touches people, it touches the hearts of people when you're performing. So I think that the mic is a sacred place. I don't think that it's something that you should just take advantage of because, you know, playing into the Pied Piper, like what you're saying, what you say matters.
Right.
And I think there's a gravity of responsibility and weight that comes with having that microphone, and you get up there, you better say something or sing something meaningful. That can be impactful to people. And even if you are having a good time, don't get me wrong, everything will have to be deep, right? Sometimes you just want to party and let people forget about their troubles and forget about what they got going on and just chill and have a good time. That's appropriate too, right? But being prepared matters a lot. Right now, I'm being really transparent, but I'm dealing with like some nodules on my vocal cords. So I had to learn how to be, I'm learning how to be more careful with my voice. I put a lot of strain on my voice as a teacher. I teach for hours at a time, so I'm constantly talking. And then, so imagine going from teaching 6 hours and then going to have to do a gig where I'm singing for 4 hours at a wedding reception or something like that, right? So over time, I started putting all this wear and tear on my voice, and I wasn't properly taking care of myself. So I can't be in a bunch of smoke-filled rooms all the time. I need to learn how to shut up. When I get done teaching and talking, I need to go home. I can't get on the phone and kiki with my girlfriend because I need to rest my voice, right? I need to make sure that I'm staying hydrated and keeping my voice covered up and being mindful and careful about where I go. I didn't think about those kind of things before, but you have to protect your instrument. Just like a keyboard player has to put their keyboard in a case so that you don't scratch it up. I have to think, because, you know, we were talking about this, if like you're a drummer, if you bust your snare head, your drum head, you just go get another one.
Right.
If I bust my voice up, I can't just go get another
Hold
voice.
on, I'll be right back.
You're right. I can't run to Guitar Center and say, let me grab that alto voice right there. I can't do that. So I have to protect my instrument, and that's been challenging, figuring all of that out. So then you get on stage, and sometimes you don't know what's going to come out. You don't know if your instrument is going to betray you or not, and sometimes you get on there and it's on and your range is full, and sometimes it's not there, and you know it's not there, and you have to learn how to adjust on the fly and still give people what they came to see, even though internally your voice is not at 100%.
Has there been times that you have gotten lost in your own songs on stage?
Absolutely. Yeah, moved to tears.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, plenty of times.
And I'm sure that probably resonates with those who will watch you perform, because like, oh yeah, she's definitely just,
You want to be like
in that zone.
Yeah, an honest performer, because you're a performer, but you're still human, right? And I think when you're inviting your audience to have authentic moments too, you have to give authenticity yourself first.
Love it. Once again, Smooth Conversations,
Yeah.
where the conversations are always smooth. Your boy
Period.
Smoooth with 3 O's, and we have Latoya.
Sharen.
There we go. Loving it, loving it. Hope y'all been enjoying the conversation so far. Continue to leave comments if you have questions, if you have any stories you want to share. If I approve
Be
of
sweet.
it. Right. She said it.
Be sweet.
That means she got the other side going on too. You got to expose. No, I was playing. But no, definitely, if I approve of it, I'll have the comments shown on the screen. We just want to interact with you, and for you just to enjoy this experience that we're having right now on Smooth Conversations. So I do have some more photos. We're going to kind of go through some, and just get your thoughts on,
Goodness. Okay.
where your mindset was when this photo was done, how you were feeling. Cause like you said, you've had some different looks, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this one right here.
Okay. Oh, look how skinny I was. These were at-home photo shoots, actually, that I was taking in my basement. That was early trying to be an artist. That had to be like 2011 or something like that. That was a while ago. I was just thinking, girl, I was just being brave. That's where I was at that time.
And talk about that era of music, that I always say, like that 2000, late 99 to like 2010-ish, 15-ish era of music was just amazing at that time, wasn't it?
Yeah, early 2000s, and at that time I was like a church girl, and I was a wife, and I was a mother during that stage of my life, and I really was still discovering myself, honestly. Like, I know y'all probably can't say, but I can see the like confusion in my eyes when I'm looking at this picture, because I remember just being like brave and just trying to do stuff.
All right, let's talk about this hairstyle.
Okay. Oh, that was cute. Shout out to Gwen. Gwen is my colorist and stylist, and it was her idea to do a two-tone hair, and I got so many compliments on my hair.
Now see, that's giving like Latoya Luckett a little bit.
Period. Okay, I like it. But that was a fun era. I had to undercut, but this is like after this, my hair was going through some changes. It was like shortly after this when I finally started like settling into myself. But that was fun. That was fun hair.
Now this one here was like let me try this era out. Let me try this look out. My being, expressing myself even more.
What you finna show? Okay, yep, Gwen again. This was probably my favorite hair color. The custom, it looked like fire. That's what we was going for. Like the hair color kind of looked like fire. So you had all these different coppers and bronze tones. Shout out to Gwen Smith. She's a color, and she customizes the color. So we were going for this golden hue, golden color. That was a fun photo shoot too. Shout out to Tony who took these pictures.
Yeah, I saw this photo, and it looks like you be performing with this man here all the time, huh?
Yeah, that's my brother Jeremy. So
nice.
Jeremy,
That's your brother. Okay,
not my physical.
Okay, you call him brother.
I call him brother. So we are a duo. We also perform in the city as Jeremy and Latoya. So we were asked to do a BB and CeCe Winans tribute show, and once we did that together, we were locked in for life after that. And as my brother, we still perform together. We have a performance coming up on the 17th. When I get back, we'll be at the Hub in St. Louis City on Monday. It's a free concert too, so y'all should come out if you got time.
Yeah, we're gonna stay connected from now on, so we can make. So I definitely want to. I don't want to just talk to the people that I have on the show in regards to the artists and whatever. I want to be able to go out and experience it for myself if I haven't already. So I definitely want to experience. You know what I'm saying? Like I haven't even experienced Kalonda on stage yet.
Yeah, you got to,
You know, and I know she be doing her thing.
And she's a vibe,
Yeah, so I definitely have to, you know, go out and have date nights with the wifey and be like, hey, we going to check out Kalonda, we going to check out, we said Jeremy.
Jeremy Taylor. Shout out to Jeremy Taylor.
Jeremy and Latoya Sharen. And make it happen, you know. Let's talk about this photo here.
Okay, yep. So this was during, the mask, this was during that COVID era. And we were just doing some Black History Month stuff there. And shout out to the guy on the keyboard. That is Philip
Hammer,
Graves.
Right? Yeah. Oh, Graves, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Philip Graves. He is the maestro, and we call him Dr. Feelgood Graves. But he was the producer of my last album, the live album. And I always tell him all the time I owe him a kidney. If he ever like get in trouble and need a limb or something, I owe it to him, because he came through and made that thing happen, pulled the band together, and it turned out so incredibly great. And that's a dope brother right there.
Yeah, we've crossed paths a few times. I've done DJ gigs where he was like the house. All right, and we are back from a commercial break. As we continue on with this amazing conversation, once again, I do apologize. It's not my fault or my equipment. It's just the building, and we'll get that together for future shows here at the station. Once again, this is not normal. This is one of those things, but technology be having its own mind at times, and we just got to roll with it. But once again, we are here, we are back, and we was having some discussions on some photos and everything. You know, just break it down. You're talking about Philip and how talented he is and everything. And I want to get to this photo right here. Talk about this amazing photo.
Wow, what a throwback.
Thank you.
So that was at Greenville College, I believe. I can't even remember the name of the competition. I entered like a battle of the bands or something like that, and I won. And so this was the performance that we got an opportunity to perform for a large audience. That's probably like the first time that I had done like a festival type of show in front of an audience that big. Again, that was me being brave, trying to step out there and do my thing as an artist. Yeah.
That's dope, man. And like, I'm the kind of person that when I check out live events, I love live events. You know, like I said, I was in the band as well, and every now and then I still do some stuff with the band. But as a spectator, I love to just take in just seeing the interaction, you know, or just seeing, the crowd is going crazy and just enjoying themselves. You know, like I've had over this year alone, saw Jay-Z out in New York.
Yeah.
When he had his 3-night thing. Then to see Usher and Chris Brown. Seeing them both actually over the last 3 years.
Yeah.
I'm about to see Bruno Mars very soon.
Love Bruno.
You know, and I've never seen him in person. I look forward to seeing. I know he gonna kill it.
Period.
You know
You
what I'm saying?
know.
I know he gonna kill it, but I just love, entertainment.
And even like in this picture, looking at everybody, you see the umbrella in the audience, and you see the hoods. It was raining.
Yeah.
So the fact that the people stood there in the wet and in the mud, because it was a field, so they were just really standing. I was just like, wow, they could have went, undercover and not stood out there, but the fact that people stood out there in the rain too, that meant something.
Dedication.
To me too. Yeah, you had to be enjoying something. You stood out in the rain. Yeah.
But yeah, I just love to see other artists, even other DJs and drummers and whatever else, do their thing. But I just love to see the people just be so immersed in it. You know what I'm saying? Seeing 20,000 people doing swag surf at the same time at a concert or whatever it is. It's just a dope feeling. Let's talk about this photo right there. Look at that.
Oh, look at her.
Catwoman in the building.
So this is like one of the very first photo shoots that I had. We were trying to shoot for the album cover, And again, shout out to Gwen. She did my hair. Actually, her and Sunny Minx did my makeup.
Oh yeah, Sunny.
Sunny did my makeup and we styled it. Those are my friends. So again, they were helping me be brave. They were helping me, you know, find my woo, find my zhuzh, to stand out there. Again, this was me post-divorce, you know, so you've been in a relationship for a long period of time, you know, the idea, like, what does being sexy and all of that stuff even really mean? So I was really just, like, finding myself there, but, you know, yeah.
So with that being said, was there a period after your divorce where you did have self-doubt about yourself and, like, you know, because of this, am I deserving of something better, or is it me because of my personality or because of my looks? Was there any kind of self-doubt that started to creep in to your mindset?
I would say, yeah, to a certain degree, but probably not the way that, like the way that you just framed it. Like, there was self-doubt in the fact of just, like, I had been with my ex-husband, like, since high school, right? So when I really thought about it, I hadn't dated as an adult, for real. Like, navigating that space was just something completely, almost, like, foreign to me. But then it was like when I kind of made up my mind that I would want to repartner. What happened is, it's been 10 years. I didn't think it would take this long to be repartnered with somebody else, but the more that I keep living and the more experiences that I have, I'm kind of glad, because each experience has just made me a better person, and has added more depth to who I am as an individual. Now I'm more assured about what it is that I desire in relationship. I think in the beginning you might just want to feel like validation. You want to feel chosen. You just want to feel seen and feel that somebody sees you and appreciates you. But now I'm at a point where I see myself. So your eyeballs are just extra.
You said your eyeballs are just extra.
Yeah.
Talk about this one.
Oh, look like Lake Minnetonka, right?
or a baptism about to
Right,
happen.
a baptism of some sort, yeah. That was a fun shoot. Again, these were, I think MacArthur shot this. I don't know whose idea was it for me to get in the water, but again, me being brave.
Was it cold?
Yes. And then my cute little dress, I'm like, I'm about to get, so you had to make this work, because once we got out the water, this was it. This was like the end of the shoot. Like, we're in the water, but that was fun. It was a fun shoot. And again, this was me being comfortable and, you know, on the other side of the camera. I was a photographer for a period of time, so I'm much more comfortable on the other side of the camera. But yeah, that was fun.
And this was taken where?
What's the park?
Not Creve
Creve Coeur.
Okay.
Yeah, Creve Coeur Park. Yep. Marina. Shout out to Marina. That was a 90s R&B love shoot. I don't want to forget everybody's name that had something to do with this shoot. But the young ladies that styled me, you see the Coogee sweater and the bamboo earrings and the ponytail and the Attaby chain, all the necklaces. We were really pulling from the essence of that 90s R&B and that feeling. So that was a very fun. Khadijah did my makeup there. That was fun. You talking about girl power, like that was another one of those collaboration situations, and I made a lot of good friends on that shoot, and it worked out. It worked out really good for the album. I think it captured. Do you think so?
Yeah.
It's giving 90s R&B.
It's giving. Can you skate?
Yep.
Okay.
Don't ask me if I can skate good.
Wait. See, I was going to ask that question. Like, wait a minute. Can you skate or can you roll bounce?
I can skate.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
and I can, you know. I know how to stand on my feet. Don't ask me to turn around and go backwards or nothing like that. I can hit the corner, I'm gonna be smooth, and I'm gonna get out of all the real skaters' way.
So this next photo kind of gives me like poetic justice / trying out for a Friday.
Yikes, okay.
Boys in the hood, Minister Society type vibe here. Okay. Let's talk about this one.
Ooh, this is me. I shot this myself. This is on my porch. Yeah, again, given 90s R&B, and you know what? During this time of my life, I was feeling confident about the woman that I was evolving into. And there is an essence of me that has, I think there's a book that everybody should read called The Ways of a Superior Man. And, but we all, men or women, all have masculine energy and feminine energy, right? And that doesn't mean that just because you have masculine energy that you are manly, right? But you just have a lot of decision making and stuff like that. And sometimes I lean into that energy, but not because I want to, but because life has kind of put me in those places where I have to make a lot of decisions. There's not a lot of people to lean on. I had to learn how to become self-reliant. And so sometimes like this energy is kind of given that, and I've been hit on by girls before. Shout out to the girls that try, but that ain't, that's not my ministry. But,
Okay, wait. We got to talk about this real quick.
What's
so you got to put it out there in regards to how were you approached? What did they say to you?
Oh my goodness, it's happened several times actually. The one that sticks out to me the most, I remember going through, might have been like at Popeyes or somewhere like that, and the girl was being like extra friendly to me in the drive-through lane, right? And she was just like, "You pretty," and I was like, "Thank you." And then she was trying to like hook me up with extra stuff, right? And then she was like, "You should like give me your phone number." I was like, "Why would I do that? You need some friends or something like that or whatever." But, she was really trying to shoot her shot, and I was like, I don't get down like that. So I'm like, I'm not your girl for what you're looking for, but it's flattering that you thought of me that way, but I don't get down like that.
It all comes in territory, right?
It do, right? And, shout out to people in the way that they want to live their life.
So you brought this up, them up previously, but just talk about, because we talked about you singing, Pilates, educator, journal, everything, being a wife, being divorced, but I know your pride and joy has to be these two.
Yeah, them my fellas.
So let's talk about just being a mother.
So it's been a pleasure. These two boys are my reasons. They're so different in their personalities. Tyrese is my older son, and he is so chill and introspective, and you can't hardly get 2 or 3 words out of him. He is very selective with the words that he speaks, versus that little one, Adam, is rambunctious and never stop talking from the time he wake up to the time he go to sleep. He has so much to say. So their personalities are so different, but I'm very, very proud of them. My oldest son, he experienced a lot. They both, my youngest son, I was going through the divorce while he was an infant, and my oldest son, he saw a lot and he'd been through a lot of changes, and I'm very proud of him for the way that he's been able to turn things around in his life, and he's doing his music thing now, and I just love being a mom. I love them little boys.
So how hard was it to navigate that divorce while parenting?
Challenging. That was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. And I really believe in, like, at the end of the day, this is the way I explain it. Like, he might not have been a good husband to me, but he's always been a good dad. So I won't disparage, the kind of father that he may be to, his kids versus the kind of husband that he was to me, And like I said, we co-parent really, really well. But, from a lot of the things that they saw, just had to experience, and then, your family unit being broken, and then having your own feelings about that, and then watching your parents have their kind of feelings about that, and that's a lot to process. I couldn't even imagine. I know what it was feeling like for me, so I can only imagine what he was feeling and processing himself or whatever. But like, to watch him come out on the other side of all of that stuff has just been rewarding to see the young man he's growing into. So shout out to you, Ty.
That's what's up. Dope. Let's talk about this one right here.
Aw. That's me graduating from Full Sail University as salutatorian. And I would have been valedictorian. But I was suffering from chronic migraine headaches, and I had to drop out a semester, yes. That's the only reason that I wasn't valedictorian.
And so do you still have those migraines?
I do not. Pilates has helped me with a lot. And then you eliminate stress from your life. I think a lot of the things that I was experiencing was stress induced. Yeah.
So talk about, for you, navigating your career, being a wife and parenting.
Juggling it all, and on top of that, like I was really active in my church, and so it was like navigating all of that and trying to be what you thought that the church needed you to be, and then associating serving the church as serving God. So you really think that what you're doing for the church is you serving God, but I don't know that I subscribe to that thought anymore. But sometimes you just overextend yourself trying to be everything to everybody and neglecting to take care of yourself, right? And I know, not to get like all super duper deep, but the scripture does tell us to love your neighbor as you love yourself. If you can only be as good to other people as you are to yourself, and I wasn't very good to myself. I gave and gave and gave and gave and gave, but I didn't take good care of myself. And it took like life crumbling around me for me to realize that I mattered too. And then I started taking good care of myself, and now I'm at a point where I want to make sure that other people feel good inside themselves. And I know how important it is to take care of your health, take care of your mental health, so you're not consumed with stress. Life is stressful. It's stressful just to live, but you don't have to be consumed by the stress.
And you brought up mental health. Do you see a psychiatrist now?
I don't now, but I did. I saw a therapist for sure.
A therapist, excuse me.
Yeah, I saw a therapist, and I think that talk therapy is good to be able to process your emotions, right? My therapist really, a lot of the times, they just listen, so you can talk yourself up on your own solution. They just kind of know how to direct the questions so that you can find what it is that what you're looking for yourself. And then after a point, you kind of have your toolbox of things that you need. Like we talked about being Mary Jane and the affirmations. Affirmations were a big thing for me. I needed to believe that something was real because my life was literally crumbling apart, and I felt myself crumbling with it. And not that I necessarily wanted to die, but I really felt, there was a point in my life when I felt like dying would have been easier than living. I was scared to die because I didn't know what was going to happen, but I was very sure that if the next days of my life were going to feel like the ones that I was experiencing, I didn't want to experience that anymore. I just was looking for like a way out from the pain of it all. And I would pray a lot. And then I got to a point where I felt like I struggled with my prayer life because I felt like it didn't matter what I was praying for, God was going to do what he wanted to do anyway, so what's the point of me praying? So my prayer would be like, well, God, whatever you get ready to do next, just give me the strength to deal with it, because clearly this is your program. And I learned that I was praying for outcomes. I was praying because I wanted God to do a certain thing for me, and I wanted God to change the circumstance. But what I realized more is that prayer was changing me. My circumstances wasn't changing, but I was. So I think that when people get connected to prayer, sometimes you don't get discouraged when things are not looking the way that you want them to look, or it's not feeling the way that you want it to feel. What prayer has taught me is how to live and still be disappointed, how to live and still keep going when you don't get the outcome that you think that you're going to get. Like, doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt, but it does mean that you can keep going. It doesn't mean that it's over right here. Prayer has taught me perseverance and how to have long suffering, and sometimes the suffering is long, and it doesn't feel like it has an end in sight, but that doesn't mean that it has to stagnate you or it has to stop you right there. You can still accomplish a lot with a broken heart. I can attest to that.
And how important is it for people to just take time, whether it's 2 minutes out of your day, and maybe reach out to someone via call, not just text. I mean, text is cool, but via call and say, hey, so-and-so, I just want to call you and just see how you're doing. Doing a wellness check. How important do you feel it is for our community to just take that time out to make that happen?
I think it's of paramount importance. So important so that I tell people, the same way that you schedule your meetings, the same way that you schedule anything else, if you ain't talked to your granny in a while, put it in your schedule on Tuesday, Thursday, whatever. Pick some random day and some random time, but remind yourself to call the people that you say matter to you and check on them. If somebody crosses your mind or crosses your heart, reach out to them and see how they're doing, because sometimes them things be lifelines to people, and they remember that they matter to somebody. So it's of paramount importance to do things like that. We need that. We need community. We're supposed to live in community with one another. Nobody can do this by themselves.
Yep,
And you shouldn't.
Awesome. Well, I think we've come to an end of a amazing, smooth conversation.
Yeah, was it smooth?
Yes, it was.
See?
Smooth with three O's. So definitely appreciate it.
I appreciate you too. I love what you're doing. Keep going, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Like I said, it's been something that I've been wanting to do for years, and an opportunity came. And I said, well, who am I to say no?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Saying yes.
Just like you were saying earlier, saying yes and saying let's go ahead and see what we can make out of it. And
Appreciate that.
I feel like this is going to be continue to be a blessing for others, and to continue to inspire, to touch. Because you just don't know how important it is for people to be able to just let certain things out of their system.
Yeah,
and
create safe spaces for people to do so. Let it be trustworthy.
Exactly. So that's why I wanted to do it. I don't want to be like no one else, and how this show was doing or how that podcast. No, I'm doing it the way that I feel Smooth Conversations, needs to be. So
You're doing a good job.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I want you to look in that camera and tell everyone once again where they can find you and all your any shout outs that you want to have as well.
Yeah, so first of all, again, we're shooting this today on August the 6th. So I want to shout out my grandmother, Melzina Morris. We miss you so much, Granny. And shout out to Smooth Conversations. I appreciate you having me here today. This has been a great experience. If you want to follow me on my socials, I am at that girl Latoya, because I am that girl. Latoya Sharen. You can find me at www.latoya. That's so funny to me. LatoyaSharen.com, where you can find the album, where you can find the journal, where you can book a Pilates lesson, a session with me, or come to a class. Anything you want to know about me is on my website, or follow me. Just reach out. Follow me on social medias. Let's hang. Let's talk. We can have some good conversations. I have videos up on YouTube. Rewatch this episode. You can learn more about me. I'm your girl.
There it is. Yeah. Now, this part, this the last photo I have.
Oh, goodness gracious. We still got pictures.
That's the last one I have, but, you talked about, once again, being a mother, being a wife, being a Pilates educator, being an author, making an impact in life. Let's take all those things away. And who is Latoya Sharen?
Oh my gosh. First of all, I'm the one I'm the taller one.
Gotcha.
And that's my best friend. That's Ebony. That was.
Oh yeah, she gonna be like, earlier. No, he didn't.
I know, that's right. But that's my early church days. This is when they were making me sing. And looking at that little girl, she had no idea that she would have to face some of the things that she'd have to face in life. But I'd like to talk to her and tell her, like, girl, we made it, girl. We did. We made it. And your best friend is still your best friend. And she's seen me through, and we've seen each other through some really challenging times in life. But you never know where life is going to take you. So, you just got to stay on the ride, and surround yourself with loving people like Ebony. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Well, once again, thank you.
Yeah, thank you too.
It's been a pleasure.
It has been.
And for everyone else, in regards to Smooth Conversation, I'm looking at this camera right there. So put that camera on me, Bree. There we go. All right, so for everyone else, thank y'all for taking time out of your schedules, of your day to experience Smooth Conversations. Feels good to be back after a month of some change. Stay tuned, because I have another episode live tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. You should check out the promo. Scan the QR code right now on the top right of your screen and connect with yours truly. Smooth Production, Smooth with 3 O's. I am, once again, as I said before, DJ. I do custom apparel, audio visuals, photography, videography, drone services, podcaster, talk show host, sound engineer, and yes, your girl just said wow.
Hilarious.
Yes. So thank me later, Ebony. Much love to you. But once again, hope that you all have enjoyed it. Scan the QR code, connect with Smoooth Productions. Also, very important to go to Smoooth Conversations on YouTube. Like, subscribe, click on that bell. Check out the district. Go to beatdistrictradio.com. Also, download the app, no matter if you have an Android or iOS. You can, once again, the district radio station, 2 years, y'all, doing amazing things for the community. We continue to branch out, do amazing stuff from live shows, amazing DJs, podcasts, teen radio, something for everyone. So check out the website, beatdistrictradio.com. And if you want to become a sponsor, you have a brand that you want us to promote for you, we can make things happen. So let's partner up, let's collaborate. Let's do some amazing things and be a part of the sponsor of Beat District Radio. So with that being said, everyone, have an amazing, great rest of your evening. This fly is still around trying to mess with us, but we about to wrap it up. But everyone have a, once again, amazing rest of your evening, and stay tuned and stay smooth.
What you have just experienced was brought to you by Smoooth Productions. Until next time, stay tuned and stay smooth.